what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to draw the figure on the screen. So I want to just roughly work out what the body is going to look like underneath the clothes. So I'm using what I know about figurative proportions, so you can find anything like that on the internet, by blocking out rough shapes of what the figure would look like, well, very simplistically look like, underneath the clothes. So as I said, you can find these figurative proportions anywhere on the internet. You can see it's very simplified shapes. I'm looking at the angle of that foot now. And now I'm looking at the space in between the legs to make sure that I've got that roughly right. And I can see that that foot comes up a little bit higher than the other foot. And I'm going to try and copy that angle. And then just mark that in. I can see the hand comes roughly about there on the body, so I'm going to put the elbow about halfway. This might change later, that's fine. I'm just putting in an estimate. Okay, then my hand might actually come down a little bit lower. I'm just going to mark that roughly about there. Okay, so now that I've got the structure of the figure, I'm going to start actually putting the clothes on the figure. So I'll start with the head actually, just to trying to copy the angles of the head, so at the top of it, almost the shape of that. I'm going to start doing the jacket. On the jacket, it's almost like a triangular shape. So I'm going to try and copy that shape, just actually breaking this image down into sections. And now I'm going to be looking at that space by the shirt and its relationship to the chin. So I know that the chin comes down lower than where the jacket starts. So I know that needs to go lower. Again, I might change that later. If it's too low, that's fine. I'm just roughly marking this in. Now I know that the shirt comes and it actually interjects into the face, so I'm going to try and copy where that shirt line is. Again, trying to copy the shape of that. I now know that the shoulder comes down. I can see the angle there. I know it's difficult to see on the screen. What I can see on my screen. But the shape of the jacket is almost actually just quite straight. I know there's like a little bit of a wobbly line where the creases are in the jacket. Now that I know the actual bottom of the jacket comes a little bit higher than the bottom of the sleeve, so I'm going to make sure I'm noticing that when I'm drawing. I'm now looking at that angle of the shoulder and trying to copy that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put in that sleeve. That sleeve's actually a little bit behind the main body of the jacket. Okay, now I'm just going to put in some little details, a little logo that he's got on his jacket. Right, now I'm going to go into the trousers. I can see that the space there in between those two sections is roughly about that. You could measure that if you like, if you find that helpful. I'm now going to look at the angle of that trouser, trying to copy that line, just the line, not the whole trouser. Every time just changing the angle. Now I'm observing again the space in between the legs, making sure that I'm almost trying to copy that as a shape. I know that the bottom of this this leg, or the trouser leg, comes down lower than the right hand side, so I'm going to make sure I'm copying that again. I'm going to draw this line which is quite straight, because it's quite straight in the image. And again, I'm going to be trying to copy the shoe. I find shoes actually quite difficult to draw, just because of the shape of them. But I'm just kind of actually just trying to copy it like it's an abstract shape, otherwise it'll just throw me off. So again here, I'm now trying to replicate that angle. Sometimes you might actually use your pencil to go and actually just move the pencil along as carefully as you can to copy that angle if you find it difficult to see. Okay, I'm just going to quickly draw in the hands. The thumb just comes a little bit over the trouser, and then just getting those fingers in. And that is all I'm going to do. You can start adding details in like the face, but today's tutorial was just to map in how to draw that figure more so than the portrait. Good luck.